Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about LA Confidential. And this movie came out in 1997 and is directed by Curtis Hanson. And the only other movie that I've seen from this director is 8 Mile, which I thought was okay. This movie is another film that I thought was okay when I first watched it. But revisiting the film, I feel as though I got a lot more out of it, and I think I was just a bit more cynical on it. Like, yeah, it's just a worse version of a lot of other crime thriller movies that I've seen before. Like, Chinatown was a lot better than this. But this time I got more out of it. I was able to, like, pick up on things that I wasn't really paying attention to, or I was just, those things just flew over my head. But what I did like was the setup for the characters and how information was presented. I do think the performances are also very strong. Like, Guy Pearce is great in this movie. Russell Crowe, Kevin Spacey, Danny DeVito's in it too. And it has a great cast, for sure. And I do think that the story works for most of it. And the only parts of this movie that I found to be dull were when it was not focused on the plot and it was kind of focused on the little romance angle of the film. And that stuff I found to be a little dull and unnecessary. And there was also a flashback split screen in the movie that I found to be slightly distracting. I know it was only one shot and it lasted for like 3 seconds, but it was still distracting and unnecessary to me. And overall, I do think this movie has a really good story, and the way things are handled, I think, is done very well. And I think the action is engaging and also well handled. The third act is great, and that's like the most memorable stuff in the movie for me. And even though it's basically just a shootout, it's still effective and memorable because of all of that build-up in the first 2 hours of the movie. Like, I actually care about our characters making it through this. And I was surprised that was something that happened in the movie. Like, I cared. And also, the amount of violence in this movie was surprising and how that was handled. It wasn't goofy. It wasn't, like, unintentionally funny at any point. It was like, oh, this is grounded and real. The way characters are handling the situation is very believable because they feel like real people. And each character in this movie is also very distinct. They all have their own things that they're doing, and it moves the story forward and makes it interesting to watch. That was something that I appreciated about it. And this is a movie that doesn't really use a lot of wide shots, but I don't take off points for it because I think part of the intention was to be claustrophobic, like you're trying to figure things out. And so I do think that that choice added to the film in a way. So thankfully, me feeling claustrophobic was like a plus to the film. And as far as the music goes, it didn't really do anything for me. It was there, it existed. It didn't drag the movie down, it didn't bring the movie up. It was there, and I've forgotten about it already. And the way information is presented in the plot of this movie, I think is done so in a way that makes it interesting to watch. They don't reveal too much too soon or too late to the point where it's just like, oh, let's just have a big reveal at the end because that's what people are waiting for. But instead, it just feels natural. It feels like, okay, this is a natural progression of the story, and here we are at this point in the movie. And everything just feels like a natural build-up, and nothing felt forced about it. And that's about all I have to say about LA Confidential. It was pretty good this time around. I liked it a lot more this time. And I was able to stay with it, with the characters and the story and the performances. All held it up pretty strongly for me. And it was a movie that worked for me. I never felt tempted to put it at 1.5 times speed like I thought I was going to because, like I said, I've seen this movie before and I didn't really care for it the first time. But this time I was with it. I was engaged, and I would recommend it. So definitely check this movie out whenever you get the chance. And with all that being said, I'm going to give LA Confidential a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of LA Confidential, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Total Recall from 2012. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.